Yes. I did have to go to the bathroom. I appreciate anybody who's joining me again. He's talking about finding the Crumbleys. He's a guy who was basically living and working around a warehouse, and the Crumbleys were trying to escape and evade charges, or just, they found out the son's a shooter. That I assume they didn't want to go back to their house. They couldn't go back to their house, but they didn't tell law enforcement where they were going. They had people looking for them. It was a little bit of a manhunt, and this guy is the guy who found them.
It's not like a clear, perfectly clear window, it's like frosted, but would have looked into the parking lot.
All right. Did the law enforcement that showed up, did they have...
Chat, let me know if you can hear. I'm going to try to figure out a way where I can figure it out.
And, we're pretty aware of what goes on, just given, the thinness of the walls. There's no insulation between our walls. And then, especially at night, you're aware of any lights that go down the street. Anything like that.
You mentioned the walls and the thin walls. What do you mean? Do you mean you're aware because of noise or because of what you see?
Yeah, both. For the walls, we hear other units, other people, in the building. Like I know when other people are in the building, for sure. And
Just to clear your testimony, you know they're in the building because you can hear them, or you know they're in the building because you see them?
Are we talking about the officers?
In general.
Or in general?
Hold on, just let me...
Yeah.
So right now we're watching a witness who found the Crumbleys, outside of a warehouse. Essentially, he lives and works around it. Ethan and James Crumbley, I'm sorry, Ethan was already apprehended. James and Jennifer Crumbley were essentially on the run. They didn't tell law enforcement where they were going. Law enforcement had their phones, and this is the guy who found them.
So I was in the front of the building at the time. They were definitely had guns drawn. They were searching the building. They were announcing that they were there. They were definitely making a presence.
Okay. Before this day, which was in December 3rd, I guess it was December late night. But
yeah.
Before this occurred, had you ever seen anything discarded or left out in a hallway in the building?
Oh yeah. So in the center promenade that I mentioned earlier about where the camera is, there's people put people put things to give away there, and then also people store things there for very short periods of time. At the time, there was a new Tempur-Pedic mattress that was there, or new to me, looking new. And it was sitting up against the wall, and I was there for a while because somebody had taped a note to it that was can I buy this from you, whoever it was.
And how long was it there? Days, weeks?
Days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is the mattress significant to you?
So the mattress was taken into the unit, and I saw that afterwards. So when they showed me the unit again, you could see that the mattress was then in there. I don't really know who actually owned the mattress, even to this day.
At some point, did you ever see the mattress again?
Yeah, so then somebody, I don't know who, but somebody took it back out of the hallway, and I think whoever actually owned it didn't want it anymore because it floated around. It was sometimes in front of the unit that they were in, and sometimes in the middle of the hallway, and sometimes on the floor. It was a very it was very agnostic where it was for a while, and then I don't know what happened to it.
Okay, all right. Nothing further. Ross?
Yes, Ryan, thank you.
All right.
Good morning.
Let's see if I can turn things around here. All right, we're watching cross-examination's about to start. Let me see
So,
if this is possible here. It might not be. I was hoping to rest the microphone on a stand so we can hear everything, but this just doesn't seem like that's gonna happen.
1111 Bellevue on December 3rd of 2021 at approximately 10 p.m. from what you recall?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yes, yes.
If you say I might
Yeah,
ask
I
you to
did
say
that
yes.
last time, sorry.
Okay, that's okay. You said that you described 1111 Bellevue as an industrial building that was once used for manufacturing.
Yeah, in the 1920s.
Right.
So, yeah.
On December 3rd of 2021, it was not a manufacturing building.
No, there are individuals, tenants who do different types of manufacturing, like there's a millwork company. We technically manufacture coffee, but they're not manufacturing pickup trucks in the way that they were 100 years ago.
Right. So in the 20s, it was used as basically a truck factory.
As far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But on December 3rd of 2021, it was a business building.
Correct, yeah.
It was just industrial in style.
Yeah, specifically the look of the building.
Right, the look of the building was industrial, but it was not
Let's
an
see if I
industrial
can-
use.
I think it's technically zoned industrial still to this day. I don't know if it's zoned mixed use, but I'm not fully positive on the regulations and codes of buildings.
What we agree on is that we're not building pickup trucks, right?
Correct.
It's not abandoned.
Correct.
There were multiple tenants in the building,
Correct.
and there have been multiple tenants for quite some time, what it sounds like.
At least a couple of years.
Oh, man, this is a mess, guys. There we go.
Where you roast coffee is approximately 3,000 square feet, is that correct?
Yeah, so there's 2,000 square feet on the first floor and an additional 1,000 on the third floor.
Okay, so the 2,000 square feet on the first floor is the space where you share the wall with the artist studio.
Yes, correct.
And then you have the 1,000 square feet on the floor, which is where you keep your cars.
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
Okay. There's also, you can drive your car in. In fact, in this video, I think we can see where your car is parked. And you can drive your car in to is there like a garage door or something?
So not in this. So it's on the front of the building. There's a drive-in garage door.
Okay. And that's how people get to their various garages, is that?
Yeah, to say.
So what we have going on, guys, this is the witness who spotted James and Jennifer Crumbley after Ethan had already committed, he shot up his school. This is the person who found the parents. The parents had already talked to the police, their phones were taken, but they didn't tell the police where they were going. And so I guess the parents were in this warehouse, staying in and around a warehouse that was retrofitted like apartments or business. I'm not sure if it's zoned for mixed use, but this is the guy who found them. All right?
Yes.
And you saw it on December 3rd of 2021.
I believe so.
And that poster had a photo of James and Jennifer Crumbley,
Yes.
or photos of James and Jennifer Crumbley,
Yes.
a photo of their vehicles,
Yes.
a license plate number,
Yes.
general information about the shooting.
Yes.
It indicated, I think your testimony was, it indicated that they were on the run.
Yes, I think it was more of like a be on the lookout or a wanted poster generally.
There was a reward offered, if you remember.
I don't remember at the time.
Your testimony was that the Kia, which we can see on the left side of the frame, was parked the farthest from the building entrance. Do you remember that in your testimony?
Yes.
You also testified that there was actually a door on the right side of the frame in front of where your cars were.
Yes, I would say that the main entrance and then the ancillary entrances, I'm speaking mostly in regards to the main entrance of the building, which is on the front.
Okay, so there were multiple entrances to the building.
There are 3 entrances to the building.
Okay. So there wasn't just one way to get in on the front of the building, there was also the door right where your car is parked. And in fact, we
Yes.
watched you walk into that door.
Yes.
You said that you walked up to the Kia on the left side of the frame, you walked around to the back, we watched you do that, correct?
Yes.
You confirmed the license plate number from what
Yes.
was on the wanted poster on your social media.
Yes.
And then you saw someone sitting next to the car.
Yes.
If you recall, that person was smoking?
I don't recall. I saw that in other news articles and things like that. But I did not say that or see that originally.
Okay. You said that you didn't expect to see anyone sitting outside of the car?
Yeah.
You expected just to have the car there empty?
I think for clarity, I didn't expect to see the car or have the car be a matching car in the first place. So there were a lot of unexpected things happening at that specific time. But that's about it.
You said that you wanted to get safely inside.
Yes.
You assumed that the person that you saw was dangerous?
Yes.
That was based on what you had seen on the news and in media reports?
Yes.
Based on the wanted poster?
Yeah. Maybe not particularly, I wouldn't say that like the poster said armed and dangerous or anything like that. I'm not 100% positive. But I think generally in a situation like that, I would fear for my safety.
Based on your own personal beliefs about the Oxford High School shooting and what you had heard in the media about James and Jennifer Crumbley?
Yes.
The person sitting outside the car didn't say anything to you?
They did not.
They didn't say, hey, look away?
No.
They didn't say a word, right?
There was no interaction between us.
In Exhibit 303, you called, was your 911 call. You recall that you told the 911 dispatcher that the parents were on the run?
Yes.
And again, that was information that you had based on what you'd heard in the news and the media and what
Yes.
you'd seen on the wanted poster. The person that you encountered next to the Kia didn't say, hey man, I'm running away. You said there was no encounter
There
at all
was
with that
no
person.
interaction.
Okay. Now, right around this timestamp, 2306 on the video, which I believe is about 20 minutes earlier real time.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecutor pointed out that somebody walked across the parking lot after you'd entered the building.
Yes.
That person didn't run after you, correct?
No.
From what you saw in the video?
Correct.
They didn't chase you down?
They did not.
Didn't threaten you in any way?
They did not.
You didn't even know that they were there?
Obviously I saw them. I didn't know that they followed me in.
Correct. You didn't know that they walked in after you'd walked into the building?
Correct. I think by the time I was in my unit, I didn't hear the door shut. I didn't know if they softly closed the door or anything, but I didn't know that they were in it.
You had no knowledge that that person had even entered the building?
Correct.
You then testified that there was about a couple minutes later, we watch, and I'll play the video too. I'd just like to see. We'll play the video too. A couple minutes after this 2306, or a couple minutes after you called 911, the police showed up.
Correct.
So if you look at the timestamp, right now it's 2306:54.
Mm-hmm.
And then it jumps to 23:21. And then we play it for a little while, and we see what you believe was a patrol car out there outside the fence, correct?
Yes.
At 23:21.
Yes.
So at that point, it had been just shy of about 20 minutes between you entering the building, at some point making a 911 call, and the police showing up.
From this, yeah.
From this video. Okay.
I'd say my conception of time was probably a little skewed in that specific moment, just given the heightened senses,
Yeah, and I'm not
Yeah,
asking you to lock
100%.
into the time number in the couple minutes. I'm asking, it actually was not just a couple minutes, it was actually more than a couple minutes.
Sure.
That's all I'm asking.
Sure.
Okay. Now, I thought I heard you say this a couple of times, but I just want to clarify. You said that you were at the building for about an hour after you made your 911 call.
More or less, I'm not 100% positive exactly.
Then
how
you
long
were
it was
driven
for.
to a temporary, what you called a command post
Yeah. It was
that
like
law
a-
enforcement had set up.
Yeah, correct. I think there were, there was media there was more squad cars, there was like a massive blue bus for the police.
And then, and this was the part that I wanted to make sure I heard you say correctly. And then the police took you back to this building and walked you through
Well, my
the
car
scene?
was there, so I had to get my car. They were, there were a bunch of police in the building, and they were like, oh, this is where they were.
And they allowed you to enter the scene and...
No, I did not enter the scene.
Okay. And that's what I was unclear about, because you testified that you had seen the mattress in the unit after James and Jennifer Crumbley got
Yeah,
arrested.
so when I walk through the center of the building, you have to turn right to exit to access this parking lot that's on the screen. And so to exit that, you have to pass by the door of where they were hiding, and so that door was open so you can see the mattress.
Okay. Now, you talked about what you heard while you were in the building. You said that you were at the front of the building while the police were searching the building?
Yeah, so like I said, I was generally kind of floating around, because I have two doors on my building, or my unit, for example. I have side doors and the front door. And so I was somewhere between those, or I was outside in the front.
So you know what you heard and saw, correct?
Yeah.
You know what you observed on your own.
Yes.
You have no knowledge of what James Crumbley heard or saw while the police were there.
That's correct.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, do people, is there any residential, unit, and I guess what I'm asking is, do people sleep at the building?
No, it's within the terms of my lease, at least. And generally, I think it's one boilerplate lease that goes across all of them. Though that is an assumption that it is not allowed, you're not allowed to sleep there.
Oh, okay, thank you. I wanna play the video, just a portion of it quickly.
So what we're seeing is the video where the witness that we've seen
Your testimony was that you never
is
saw the front of this individual?
spotting the Kia
That's right.
and
But
Crumbleys.
what, the actual piece of clothing, how did you describe it?
In the,
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
How did you describe it? You said something in the 911 call.
I said it was a plaid hoodie.
Okay, do you know what color, do you remember what color it was?
During the 911 call, I didn't say. I think it might have been blue.
Okay, but you're not
That's
sure?
Not 100% positive.
Okay. And now I'm gonna show you another image. Exhibit 304. First of all, is that the art studio, if you know?
Yeah, I've never been inside of it, but like I said, when you to go to the parking lot or leave the parking lot, sometimes the door's open, so I know that there's like paintings in there, and I know the general footprint of the
Okay.
space, just given where it is.
All right. Did you ever see James or Jennifer Crumbley, other than?
No,
Okay.
only the obviously the scene somebody next to the car, but when they were arrested and taken away, I wasn't in the building, or I was at that like command post.
Okay. And can you describe what that individual is wearing that's not the police officer?
It was like a blue sweatshirt or hoodie of some sort, plaid.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Free cross. Mr. Curley, to your knowledge, James or Jennifer Crumbley were not tenants of 1111 Bellevue, correct?
That's correct.
You have no idea if they had any knowledge of what the terms of the lease were, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
No further questions, Your Honor.
But they wouldn't have had a file because they weren't a tenant, correct?
Objection, Your Honor,
Okay, thank you.
speculation.
As far as you know, they were not a tenant.
That's correct.
Thank you. May you be excused?
Yes, you can step down. You're
Thanks.
excused.
Guys, if you haven't already, throw a sub. It's a new channel. I'm going to be doing some more stuff like this. We're going to get better, bigger, faster, and stronger.
I'm hungry.
Still learning.
I'm sure their lunch is very good.
I think I drove away viewers with that.
Morning. Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you want to give is the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Could you please step up? Can you have a seat? Could you state your name for the record and spell your first and last name?
David Metzke, D-A-V-I-D, Metzke, M-E-T-Z-K-E.
Go ahead, ask you.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well, how you
Fine, thanks. Tell us, please, how you're employed.
doing? Currently employed with Detroit Police Department.
And how long have you been a police officer with Detroit?
Close to 7.5 years.
Okay. Tell us, please, what's your current assignment?
Currently assigned to the Detroit Special Response Team.
Tell the jury, please, what exactly is the Detroit Special Response Team?
So that is the SWAT team for the Detroit Police Department.
Okay. Tell us, what are some of the responsibilities associated with the team member of the Detroit Police Special Response Team?
Okay, so our primary jobs are barricaded persons, hostage situations, dignitary protection, high-risk search warrant, and fugitive apprehension.
Okay. How often would you say that you engage in these sort of duties?
So I'm close to 60 barricade or hostage situations right now, and I would say a little over 200 warrants right now.
Okay. Is this something that is a SWAT team member or special response team member you do on a daily or weekly basis?
Every day.
And how long have you been a member of the special response team?
Going on 4 years.
4 years, okay. I'd like to direct your attention to about 11:30 p.m. on Friday, December the 3rd, 2021. Do you recall that date and time?
I do.
And were you working or were you called in?
I was called in.
And tell us what that means, please.
So I was probably sleeping at that time. My work phone goes off because we're always on call. So it's blasting. I wake up, you look at your phone, and depending on what you get called in, so that day we were called in for a fugitive apprehension. We're told to report to the base. I reported my base.
The Detroit Police Special Response Team base?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then what do you do there?
Then I gather all my equipment up,